What's up, beautiful people? Welcome to another episode of Dialogue with the Davises. Once again, my name is Cedric, and I'm joined by my beautiful wife, Lashana, and we are still the Davises.
Still the Davises.
Yeah, I
You
just
know, you
wanted,
said we were the Davises, but we're still the Davises.
I just wanted to make sure, you know what I'm saying, everybody was aware of the fact of who
That
we
we're
are.
still the Davises.
Yeah, I mean, just in case they didn't watch the introductory video, you know what I'm saying, in the event that this is the first time, you know what I'm saying, sitting down having this conversation with us. I just wanted to make sure they knew and understood who we were. That's all.
But if they didn't watch the first video, then they won't know that we were the Davises to be still the Davises.
See, you just doing some stuff right now. It is what it is. Once again, man, we're back. Yeah, I'm clean shaven. Today was my first day back at work. Been on leave for the last 2 weeks, so haven't been shaving, haven't been putting on a uniform. But like I said in the first video, I am still in the military serving. So you know what I'm saying. I'm back in my regular look. I know
Back to regulation.
yeah, I know you felt some kind of way when I had to cut my goatee off.
I did. I love it.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I love that you love it.
Hmm.
Yeah, I get special treatment when I got my
You
goatee.
do.
Man, listen, it is what it is, man. So, again, as we said in the introductory video, we're here strictly out of obedience to what it is that we're being inspired to do. Each of us are passionate about marriage and family and seeing that in a healthy context and in a healthy environment. We both have grown a lot over the years, and in growing, we've discovered some things that have helped us and that have hurt us. And as we said again in the first video, we're just gonna be as honest and transparent as possible, sharing with everyone the things that we've had to kind of endure over the years. And
But don't be too nosy.
yeah, I mean,
Okay. All
we gonna give you some insight, and at the same time, we're gonna share with you the things that we do present day, or you know what I'm saying. If they still plague us, we'll also address that. You know what I'm saying, and just kind of talk about some of those issues. So, that being said, we were in the bed the other night and just kind of rehashing some stuff and talking about life together and everything else. And the topic came up like, what are some of the you know what I'm saying, landmines and pitfalls that we've had in our marriage. So we decided that that would be a good topic to discuss on tonight as it relates to some of the things that we've had issues with that would be considered a landmine or a pitfall with regards to our marriage and a relationship. So that being said, what do you think has been a landmine or a pitfall in our marriage? You know what I'm saying? Up until this point, with regards to who we are,
right. Not putting each other first.
not putting each other first. Yeah, that's a big one.
Um,
That's a big
and
one.
when I say that, I mean, you know, after God, but not putting each other first.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that we both have struggled with um, wanting to please or satisfy the needs of other people, um, whether it be our parents, our children. I think our children was a big one.
Yeah, definitely. The
I think
kids,
I think
yes.
that's extremely dangerous to put your children before your spouse, um, because you know your children, they're not yours to
Yeah,
keep. You
yeah,
know,
definitely.
you are given children to raise here on earth, and then you let them go so they can go into their own lives, have their own spouses, and create their own families. But your spouse is yours. Like
Yeah,
you,
definitely.
God gave you like your spouse is the only somebody in the world that, and I don't want to say belongs to you, but they're the only person that belongs to you. And when you put your children or your parents before um, your spouse, you are that is extremely, extremely dangerous. Your parents have a spouse,
Mm.
or um, your children will have a spouse. You have to make sure that the person that you have become one with, um, you need to make sure that they're being put first.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I mean, and I know, again, just highlighting, you know what I'm saying, the cultural aspect of being from New Orleans. I know that was something that early on, I personally, not necessarily struggled with, but didn't understand. I come from a large family, you know what I'm saying, and I love my family dearly, man. Like we spend time together. We've, you know what I'm saying, had some great times over the years, just different events and so on and so forth. My mom and my dad are both still with us. I have two sisters and two brothers, and man, just I just enjoy my family. And coming up, that was all that I knew. That was all that I understood with regards to that. So when myself and Lashonda got to a place of being married, and now me actually having to operate in a way that would lead me to have to put my wife first, I sometimes struggle with that. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't necessarily that I tried to struggle with it, but it was that dynamic of breaking away from, what I was used to and what was
Right.
comfortable and what I had gotten accustomed to now being in a place or a situation where I'm saying, hey, I'm married now, so I have to do things a bit differently. And I don't think it was done in a disrespectful way
No.
or anything like that, but it was
No.
just um, in a manner where it did cause us some confusion, I think, because I made decisions at certain points in times with my family in mind, not considering how it may impact you or affect you,
Right.
or the kids or whatever else. So,
I
um,
think I think it is necessary to say that I kind of had the advantage,
mm-hmm,
being a military brat, um, and I often say more brat than military,
mm-hmm,
but I think I wasn't used to. I didn't have to do that. I
yeah,
didn't. I wasn't raised with grandparents and cousins and aunts and uncles. I saw them, and it was um, like a big deal when we came into town
like a
because
family reunion, yeah,
reunion every
definitely,
3 years when we came home, or and sometimes depending on where we lived in the world, we would come home more often than every 3 years. But
mm-hmm,
when we weren't, if we were in California, if we were in Germany, we're in Alaska, wherever we were far enough away where we didn't have to contend with that. Like my parents didn't have to fight about,
mm-hmm,
we were at your mom's house last time. We're going to my mom's house this time, or we're going to do this. So for me to not necessarily put, um, and I'm gonna be careful because I feel like there were times
mm-hmm,
where even I didn't realize I was putting my mother and my brother, their their feelings first, or their I thought their needs first.
mm-hmm,
But it was just easier for me to say no
yeah,
because I was used to not being around anybody. I was used to it just being my parents, my brother, and myself. So for you to have brothers and sisters and aunts and uncles, I mean, hindsight is 2020. At the time it was just me having my fit,
mm-hmm.
but now I have a better understanding of that had to be difficult to have to make the decisions that you had to make, and it probably is still difficult.
Yeah, I mean, and now present day, man, I think arriving to this point in life and having a better understanding of what it is to be a husband and um, have a wife and have children and know and understand that this is the family that I've been blessed with, and you know what I'm saying. This is the one that I'm to properly steward and lead and take care of. I think it's a bit easier now. And also I've communicated and my family knows and understands, you know what I'm saying, and they um, are respectful of that with regards to what it is that, you know what I'm saying,
Mm-hmm.
has to be done or is said. But again, like that definitely just balancing that dynamic. And I think, that there are a number of relationships that may struggle with that. And you know what I'm saying, that's definitely a growing pain that we had to endure, and that's definitely something that we had to grow from and get to a place of understanding. Just even with, like you said, the dynamic with the kids, man, like, because there were times where, like you said, we may put the needs of the kids before ourselves, or
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying, we may put the needs of you know what I'm saying, a parent or a sibling before what it is that we did with one another. And now looking back on it, you know what I'm saying, we probably shouldn't have done it that way. I mean, not saying that you don't take care of family, because I'm still a big advocate for that. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, as you stated initially, The order of precedence should first be God, then one another, then the children, and then everything. You know what I'm saying? Following that.
Everything
So,
and everything else.
yeah, and I think as a married couple, or you know what I'm saying, as husband and wife, you have to really sit down and be intentional and have conversations about what that looks like, and you know what I'm saying, kind of get through some of that stuff as it relates to the actual rough patch. But um, so now and I feel like we've grown greatly in that area. I think time, you know what I'm saying, has caused us to get to that place. Time, maturity, and then the fact that, you know what I'm saying, again, we are in the military, so we move around so often. I think God, was instrumental and intentional in having that take place, because it gave us the opportunity and the time to discover certain things away from family
Right.
about one another. So, and again, not saying that it's a bad thing to be around family or whatever else, because for some individuals that is the perfect recipe, you know what I'm saying, for their marriage. But for some, it may not necessarily fit into you know what I'm saying, what it is that they're aspiring to become or whatever else, because of that attachment that you may have to your family. Because again, like I said, man, I love linking up with my mom, my dad, my brothers, my cousins, sitting down playing spades, talking smack, you know what I'm saying, cooking, doing whatever it is that we do, my aunts and stuff like that. But you know what I'm saying, I definitely had to learn and get to a place of better understanding that but for me, just pointing out a pitfall. One thing that I think we suffered with early on was that deadly silence. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like
Mhm.
we would and I'm gonna say me more than you, because you didn't do this, but I did. You know what I'm saying? Early on in our marriage, when we would disagree and when we would have issues with one another, rather than me communicate about it, or you know what I'm saying, talk through it, I would just get silent. You know what I'm saying? And I got to that place of getting silent because initially, when we would have disagreements, or you know what I'm saying, colorful arguments, we'll say it that way. Um, you know what I'm saying? I didn't always have the best response. So I think in you know what I'm saying, in an attempt to not respond in an aggressive way, or not respond in a way that was disrespectful, or me saying something out of line, or out of pocket, I just got to a point where I would become silent, and then what I started doing was weaponizing that silence, because I knew it would cause you to feel some kind of way. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So I know I struggled with that early on, and I know it had an effect and an impact on, you know what I'm saying, who it was that we were as husband and wife. But during those moments, how did you process that stuff and deal with it when I would not give you anything? You know what I'm saying, in terms of like no response, not talk, or anything like that.
It definitely makes you feel, or it made me feel, because I definitely don't want to speak for anyone else, but it made me feel um, like it was an unfair fight.
Yeah,
It was not
yeah,
a fair fight at all, because um, where I would want to talk about it or argue about it, or whatever we were going to do to get some resolution, it was almost like um, you were holding the healing hostage
yeah.
in the
Man,
way
what?
that
That's a good way of saying that. Yeah.
it was like we're not gonna heal until I say so. We're not gonna talk about it
Hmm.
until I say so. We're not
Yeah.
going to deal with this until I say so. And that made me feel um, like I wasn't an equal partner in the relationship. It was like
Yeah.
almost like I was a child,
Man.
like I was being punished. And I think that was something that I struggled with big time, because I think when you did that, it made me feel like I couldn't trust to talk to you about certain things, because okay, if I tell him how I'm feeling about this,
Hmm.
it's going to cause an argument.
Hmm.
Then he's not going to talk to me.
Man, what?
Then so it was
Yeah.
it was a lot of things I had to keep to myself, and in keeping them to myself, it created a situation where I had to come up with my own
A
um,
narrative.
narrative,
Yeah,
and that
definitely.
is so dangerous because I am extremely creative.
Yeah, you are creative. Yeah,
Yes,
you.
I'm extremely
Yeah.
creative, and I can um, design a situation that is so far from what it really is
Hmm.
that now we have another problem. We
Yeah.
have the problem that we had, then we have the silence, and now we have the imaginary, fictitious, made up
Yeah, scenario.
scenario. So now we have three things we're dealing with when we really only had one to deal with.
Yeah, and again, you know what I'm saying, and I you know have tried to make amends for that, and I feel like we've, you know what I'm saying, grown a great deal because we definitely don't do that anymore. I know when we have disagreements now, we talk through them as best we can and we communicate to the best of our ability. But I feel like the mature thing that has happened is, and you know what I'm saying, I give all glory to God for this. Um, we've gotten to a place where we can disagree in a healthy way. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Absolutely.
so
In a
so it
respectful way.
yeah, in a respectful way. And it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mean that you know what I'm saying, because I'ma always love you, but there are times where you know what I'm saying, something may be said or something may be done and I don't like it. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And vice versa. You've done you feel the same way, but we can now communicate that to one another with it being a safe space because we know and understand that listen, we're on the same team. You know what I'm saying? There's no such
Right.
thing as you winning and I'm not winning, or
Right.
me winning and you're not winning.
Right.
So, um, yeah, that's definitely a real thing. I mean, but it reminds me, you know what I'm saying, and I'm sitting here thinking about the time when we were living in Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, and I often tell my guys about this story or share with others, man, about just how petty, you know what I'm saying, things can get at a particular time. I remember there was one occasion and this also highlights a landmine that we suffered with real bad early on, which was throwing around the divorce word. Like we would, man, I feel like we would throw that word around. You know what I'm
It was
saying?
a race. It was
Yeah,
who's
man,
gonna say it first, because it's more powerful. If I say it
man.
first, I have all the power. If he was to say it first, then he has all the power. So
Yeah,
it definitely was.
yeah. And that was so and I say that's a landmine because that's the man, I don't think people understand what they're depositing into their marriage
Mm-hmm.
when you know what I'm saying. They even make that an option, or when they even talk about divorce as a possibility. But I remember one time that argument again. Getting back to that story, man. We were living in Alabama. We had a disagreement,
Heated fellowship.
a heated fellowship.
Mm-hmm.
It was maybe 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and she was like, "Well, I just want a divorce. Bring me by my mom." And I was like, "Well, I'm gonna bring you by your mama then." Man, and it's 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. At the time, we are living in Birmingham, Alabama. Her
Mm-hmm.
mom was living in Parsons, Kansas. Man, and I'll never forget. Um, we had an expedition at the time. We had 3 kids at the time. Three. We had three of the kids. 3 or 4. I don't remember. Yeah, I think we had
We just
four.
had a lot of them.
Yeah. So, but anyway, for the sake of time, man, we loaded the expedition up with as much stuff as we possibly could. Again, it's 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. We're in Birmingham, Alabama. Her mom is in Parsons, Kansas. Loaded the truck up. My kids got stuff all on top of them in the back of the vehicle and everything else. And we rode 16, 17 hours straight. I'm talking about 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. We left the house.
Mm-hmm.
We rode 16, 17 hours straight, and I didn't say a word. I'm talking
Nothing.
about, man, I didn't say
Nothing.
a
He
word to
stopped
her.
and got gas.
Yep,
He filled the gas tank up.
yep,
He went inside the store.
hmm
He got himself something to eat and drink.
hmm
He got the children something to eat and drink, and brought me nothing.
yeah, I wasn't.
And I was too stubborn to even get out and go get my own
Yeah, for
something.
real. And I just thought of,
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
you,
I was like, no, he's gonna bring me something. He is
nah,
going to bring, and
that's so how crazy you is,
mm,
huh? You
and so for
stubborn
all that time, I didn't eat anything.
all the way to the thing.
I think I might have had a peppermint in my purse.
That was it. Oh, that peppermint. Oh, that was
I
all.
saved it.
Man, listen. And we're laughing about it now, but at the time frame in which we were going through it, man, you know what I'm saying? It was very emotional for the both of us. And again, it all stemmed from us not being able to communicate in a healthy way and then allowing that silence to become deadly. And like I said, I used to weaponize that and I used to make it where it's like, okay, I know if I be quiet, it'll make her feel some kind of way. But it's crazy because we took that ride, made it all the way to Parsons, Kansas, and it's the craziest thing. Is like as soon as we got to Kansas, you know what I'm saying? You asked me if I wanted something to eat,
Yeah,
and that broke the silence.
and
And it was
I was like,
like,
"Are you hungry?" And I think he had the audacity to say
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Like
but was beautiful, and I respect, you know what I'm saying, we had that argument and that riff, but you know what I'm saying, you still were considerate enough to be concerned about if I wanted to eat. And then you know what I'm saying, I think you made me something to eat.
Because you're driven a long way.
Yeah, I had driven along. I was
Like
tired. Oh,
you
I was
you had
tired.
driven a long way.
I was over there sneaking. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the energy drinks was at the time, trying to stay woke. I was not gonna
Yeah,
let you know I was tired.
it
Oh,
was
I refused. You know what I'm saying? But and it was crazy. We made that trip all the way to Kansas. You know what I'm saying? In
hmm
silence. And then as soon as we got there, you know what I'm saying, she asked me one question, and that kind of broke the ice, and we started communicating and sat down and had some dialogue about what the disagreement was. And in all actuality, it really wasn't that serious. Like we really, it was crazy. It wasn't that serious. It should have never gotten to that point. But
But what's even crazier is I never had any intention of staying.
oh, so you had me just you just wanted a vacation.
If I wanted a vacation, I would not go to Parsons.
Yeah. So
Parsons is
you
as big as this world.
so you just took it too far. You know
I
what
think
I'm
that it. Well, I would have told you if you'd been talking.
saying? So if we'd have been talking, you would have
If
been
you'd been
like,
talking, I would have been like, okay, I took it too far, but you weren't talking, so I couldn't tell you.
moral of the story, boy, I could have saved myself a
You
lot
could,
of
yes, you
time,
could have,
gas money, everything
yes,
else. Oh my
because I
goodness.
never was staying.
That's crazy.
I never was gonna stay.
See what I'm saying, man? That's all bad. But it's you know what I'm saying. Again, it's those growing pains that you have, and you know what I'm saying. Those things that you begin to discover and understand. Because now, we definitely over communicate sometimes, and we've given each other enough space to be able to say, hey. Give me some time to process this, or give me some time to pray about this, or give me some time to consider everything that's going on in this particular situation. So instead of giving you some answer that doesn't really apply to what it is that we're dealing with, or giving you not my best response or whatever else, we could come back and you know what I'm saying, still deal with that at a later time. But even in that, we realize that life doesn't stop. You know what I'm saying? So we disagree, but it doesn't mean that the rest of our lives, you know what I'm saying, go on pause, and now
Right,
we can't pay attention to that. So the
right.
kids still have to be taken care of. Responsibilities still have to be met, and we still have to, you know what I'm saying, take care of one another as husband and wife. Even though we may be in a place where we're disagreeing, or we may not be seeing eye to eye in that place. But I credit all that to God, man, for us
Absolutely,
to be in this place now of being able to maturely disagree, and be in a mature place of, you know what I'm saying, communicating, because silence, man, is definitely deadly.
it is.
Um,
But I will say, and tell me how you feel about it. I don't. I think through all we've been through, we've never been mean to each other.
nah,
Like
we haven't.
I
I
think the
mean, it was
silence,
mean for me not to buy you nothing to eat, but
and it was mean if you not talk to me.
yeah, that was
But I mean in the way of like, I think we still always take care of each other.
yeah, I've never been to a place of not even, and again, just touching on the landmine aspect of, you know what I'm saying, dropping that divorce word, man. And I encourage anybody that's in a marriage, man,
Please stop saying it.
please don't bring that into your marriage.
Yeah.
Again, man, we speak things into existence,
Yes, we do.
and we deposit certain energies, and you know what I'm saying, give a footstool, or a entry point to, you know what I'm saying, the enemy to have some type of negative impact in our lives and in our marriages, man, and that's definitely not good. So we definitely would encourage you all to definitely not, you know what I'm saying, resort to that as a weapon or a response. But
And even if you don't believe that you speak things into being,
mm-hmm,
even for people who don't believe that, because there are
mm-hmm.
some people who don't believe that there's power in the tongue, or
Oh, it's in the Bible, so yeah,
I mean, we believe that,
yeah,
but you have people that don't believe that.
yeah. I got you. I
You have
got
people who are non-believers all the way across the board.
you. Mm-hmm.
Um, but even if you don't believe that, believe that when you say to your spouse, "I want a divorce," that hurts them.
Yeah, that's
So even if
painful.
you don't
Yeah.
believe it is speaking it into being, believe that when they hear that, it's you are chipping away at that person,
Mm-hmm.
and you cannot unring a bell. What you say, people say forgive and forget. That's crazy.
Nah.
Like
Yeah.
you I can forgive you, but I'm not gonna forget. That's
Nah.
so you remember things that were said to you when you were a little kid.
Yes.
You remember that little kid that was bullying you, or
Mm-hmm.
the time that your parent said this, or your friend said that. So you're not gonna forget it, and that is extremely hurtful and damaging to your spouse. And
Yeah, I
when you're
think
not
it
mad
is.
anymore, you know, now how is your spouse looking at your feeling? Or how do you look at your spouse now that you know you've hurt them to that degree?
Yeah.
Because that's a lot to say to someone that I dislike this moment so much that I'm willing to not be with you anymore.
And I
Like
think,
that's
but
hard.
I think it comes from an emotional place. I think you know what I'm saying, and that's why I think it's so important to have a level of maturity be present um, in all walks of life. You know what I'm saying, to be able to make rational decisions, and you know what I'm saying, be mindful of the things that you're saying, man. I know the word of God, you know what I'm saying, says that a soft answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. So, you know what I'm saying, having the presence of mind to be able to say, okay, we're not in the best place as it relates to, you know what I'm
Let's
saying,
take a minute.
agreement, but let's take a minute and let's be, you know what I'm saying, intentional and loving about what it is that we're communicating to one another. And again, it doesn't mean that you're going to resolve that issue in that very moment, nor does it mean that, you know what I'm saying,
It may
we
never
going to,
be resolved.
yeah, because we still have some stuff we still talk about, that's, you know what I'm saying, and it's a healing process, like my
Mm-hmm.
wife said, you know what I'm saying, those years ago when I was being silent and not talking, or not communicating, I withheld us being able to heal. And you know what I'm saying, we still deal with some of that to a degree. We deal with it in a healthy way now as it relates to the conversations that I had. But again, just I would encourage anyone not to allow that to be, you know what I'm saying, just irresponsibly thrown around as an option with regards to your marriage and what it is that you're
Mm-hmm.
doing. So um,
And please understand, we definitely don't want to come off like we're saying we don't still argue. We
yeah,
still
we still
argue.
have
We still
disagreements. Yeah,
fuss.
definitely.
We still disagree about things that we handle better.
Yeah, definitely.
The children,
Yeah, definitely.
we handle the children so much better
Hmm.
now. The way he um wanted to raise them, the way I wanted to raise them, caused a lot of a tug of war.
Hmm.
It was you
Yeah,
want to
it
do it,
did.
because we had our different ideas. We are better now at doing it together, even if it means sometimes I have to just say, okay, I'm getting my purse, I'm getting my keys, I'm gonna walk away,
Hmm.
I'll be back,
Hmm.
or whatever it is that we do. Um, but we still have issues with that sometimes now,
Yeah,
where
definitely.
he's like, I'm gonna do this, or I'm gonna say that, or the punishment, or whatever.
Hmm.
So please don't. We're definitely not saying that we don't argue, that we're not human, and we're not trying to paint this picture of everything is great.
Nah,
We do
nah, not at
everything
all.
wonderful now. We're
Not at all.
healed and above it all, because
Nah.
that is not where we're coming from. We're just coming from a place of this wasn't an issue.
Hmm.
This is what we did.
Yeah, definitely.
It may still be an issue, and
Hmm.
this is what we're doing.
Yeah, we just deal with it in a from a more mature space, and you know what I'm saying, in a more responsible way. But again, just giving all glory and honor to God, I feel that we've gotten to that place of being able to you know what I'm saying, be more mindful of our emotions and things of that nature, because of us both being intentional about our relationship with Christ and seeking God. I mean, man, now me and my wife, I don't care if we disagree or whatever else. I'm not allowing my wife or my children to leave out of our home without covering them in prayer. So, and even praying for them at night. And even with that, man, like as I began to grow and develop a better understanding of what it looked like to love my wife as Christ loved the church, as the Word of God tells us to do. It's like it started shaping my narrative, and you know what I'm saying, giving me a different vantage point, because I feel like before I was seeing marriage through, you know what I'm saying, through a tainted lens. You know what I'm saying? I was seeing it through the lens that the world had provided, the stuff that was on television, the stuff that I saw in the culture, or you know what I'm saying, stuff that I saw in society, and that wasn't accurate. You know what I'm saying? Like that wasn't accurate at all. So now, present day, I'm talking about, in you know what I'm saying, not we. I don't care how upset we may be with one another, what we're disagreeing about is like, hey, come on, let me still cover you in prayer because that's my responsibility. That's, you know what I'm saying, what I'm charged to do or whatever. So
It funny. Um, I think I think it was probably when we first. I feel like we first got into this house,
mm-hmm,
and we had had a little disagreement,
mm-hmm,
and you were like, "Come on, let's pray." I was on my way to work,
mm-hmm.
and I was like, "No, just call me. We'll
Yeah,
pray."
just call. And I was like, nah,
He was
we,
like, "No," because I was like, "Just call me.
mm-hmm,
Let me get in the truck and
nah,
pray for me." And he was like, "No."
nah, I'm gonna put my hands on it.
And
Yeah,
when we embraced in, because we usually will either pray in our bedroom, or we'll pray in the hall. And we once we when he wrapped his arms around me, and he prayed over me, I wanted so bad to be
to be
mad.
mad.
I wanted so
Oh, the Holy
I
Spirit
have
was
to be
working
mad.
on you.
And the Holy Spirit was like,
Nah, let me get that out
no.
you. Yeah, for
And
real.
so I got in the car, and I was kind of like mad because I couldn't be mad.
See what I'm saying? That's
And then
crazy.
you laugh about it and you move on. But
Yeah.
I can remember clearly being like, how dare him
Yeah. Oh yeah. You're not.
stop me from
Yeah.
being mad, you
But
know?
that again, you know what I'm saying? Like is that growth and just get
Mm-hmm.
into that place of understanding, man. Because there was a time that wouldn't have taken place. You know what I'm saying? And now it's like that's non-negotiable
Right, right.
because because at the end of the day, it's almost like we have to compartmentalize those different aspects, and you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying, the roles and the responsibilities and the things that we have to take care of. So it's like, nah, we can't just let it be. You know what I'm saying? A ongoing issue where we don't address it or we don't take care of it or anything like that. So I'm thankful now that we are in a place where we can sit back and identify those things and just be completely honest with ourselves and honest with one another about what it is that we're feeling and what it is that we're experiencing, and then get back to, you know what I'm saying, just kind of addressing the issue for what it is and not having that silence exist between us so that we could create our own, you know what I'm saying, narrative, our
Mm-hmm.
own, you know what I'm saying, reality about what it is that's going on. And then also get into that point of, because now us utilizing the word divorce is not even an option. Like
Oh
it's,
no,
yeah, you,
it's that's been.
yeah, that's been years though. But it's like you, like you, she could be mad, and we got enough rooms in the house where she could try to go lay in another room, and I'm gonna just come get in that bed with her too. It's like
Yeah,
we,
no.
you gonna lay on side of me. I don't care if you're mad or not. We gonna lay in a bed together, and you know what I'm saying.
And
We
I'm
gonna,
gonna put my feet on you.
yeah, you can put your feet on. But again, it's us getting to that place and you know what I'm saying, hopefully sharing with someone, because a lot of times, you know what I'm saying, just that physical touch and just, you know what I'm saying,
Mm-hmm.
that commitment to
I
one
agree.
another helps, you know what I'm saying, some of those emotional things that we're feeling to kind of like, you know what I'm saying, subside. And you know, now we can look at things from a more accurate lens and not have this level of emotion or this level of, you know what I'm saying, disconnect exists between us because of some situation that we may have been arguing about or whatever else. So,
So
um,
that is major.
yeah,
Um,
definitely, definitely.
you know, people underestimate just physical touch.
Yeah, the
Just
physical touch is
just
important. Yeah.
underestimate being angry. And I know it sounds so far fetched, and this is not something we do. What I'm about to say is we don't necessarily do well. We don't do it all the time,
Hmm.
but if you can put your ego aside enough
Yeah.
to, when you're angry or arguing, to just hug for a second.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes a difference.
Just because I think we're sitting here together now, and there's space between us.
Hmm.
So good energy, bad energy, whatever can get in this space.
Hmm.
Um, but if then you hug, there's no space between you.
Yeah,
So
man, for
now
real.
you
Yeah, that's
are
good.
you are pushing out whatever it is that's keeping that bad energy or
Yeah, of
whatever.
being able to connect. You know what I'm
Because
saying?
you're
Yeah.
connecting, because that's the purpose of marriage, is to be connected.
That and that's important, and that leads to another thing, man, because you know what I'm saying, that also, and this isn't a adult, you know what I'm saying, remark that I'm about to make, but that also impacts your sex life. You know what I'm
Right.
saying, like when you're not connecting, or when there's that radio silence or whatever else, you begin to neglect that aspect of your marriage as well, and that's very dangerous.
Very
You know what I'm saying,
dangerous.
like Um,
Extremely dangerous.
and listen, we not on here trying to this is not a sex therapy show or anything like that, but that's not what it is. But at the end of the day, we just want to again highlight some issues that we've discovered that have taken place with us over the years that have had negative impact, and you know what I'm saying, in our marriage and you know our connection. So and that was something that was negatively, and we'll talk about that. You know what I'm saying at another point in time. But
We'll
just
talk about that on the sex therapy page.
well, I mean, I don't.
No.
Nah, we not yet. We're not having a sex therapy page. So you know what I'm saying. Just having that level, whatever. Just having that level of understanding, man, with regards to that, because that also creates distance between you and your partner. It gives way to temptation. It gives way
It
to
does.
a number of other things, and it's not just about just the actual act of you know what I'm saying, sex, but just that
It's
intimacy, man. You know what I'm
intimacy.
saying? Yeah, definitely, because you have to have that. I know one of the biggest things early on in our marriage was um, never feeling as if I could do um, enough to satisfy or please my wife, not in a physical stance, but just as a man, just as a husband. I didn't feel like I was doing enough as a husband to please her or make her feel, you know what I'm saying? And that disconnect as it relates to the physical touch and you know what I'm saying, the intimacy, it further added to you know what I'm saying, those things that I would be feeling in terms of not feeling, you know what I'm saying, as if I was able to please her or make
Where
her.
do you think that came from?
I mean, to be honest, I feel like it came from you know what I'm saying, just who I was. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying, like, and there are some things that you know from a mental health aspect, and you know what I'm saying, some things that I've discovered through therapy, and you know sitting down with a counselor and other things of that nature. But it was like,
And that made a difference as well.
yeah,
When
it
we
did,
both start seeing
yeah, it did.
someone to talk to, that
That mental health, yeah,
huge.
that mental health piece is definitely huge, and again, I know we'll definitely talk about that
Later, yeah.
in more detail. But you know what I'm saying? Just having that again, that disconnect and not being able to come together and connect in a physical manner led to emotional stress, and it led to
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying, other feelings or whatever else. So um, we now that's not an issue we have now. I feel like we communicate, you know what I'm saying, that very well
Right.
now. You know what
Right.
I'm saying. And again, like she said, we could be disagreeing, or we could have, you know what I'm saying, a knockdown, drag out disagreement, and thank God it doesn't lead to us, you know what I'm saying, raising our voices at any one or another, you know what I'm saying, or anything like that anymore. But we can have a serious disagreement, but we still gonna get in that bed and we still gonna, you know what I'm saying, touch one another, and we still gonna come together and make sure we're still connecting in some way, shape, or
Mm-hmm.
form, so that we don't allow that'll be even
That
further
space to grow.
disconnect. Yeah, that space to grow. So
Right.
that's definitely important, man. So um, again, like we said, man, we just want to bring forth those things that we feel may be of benefit and helpful to other couples, and let them know. Go ahead.
Let me interrupt you for 1 second.
Mm,
Um, as far as the intimacy part,
mm-hmm,
I can remember saying, you know, or talking to friends or whatever. Um, and the analogy I always give is, you work with other people, you go to school with other people,
mm-hmm,
you can eat dinner, breakfast, or lunch with other people. You have all this time, and you give yourself to other people.
mm-hmm,
But the one thing that you give your spouse that makes it different is intimacy.
mm-hmm.
And that's something that has to be nurtured. And the
Yeah,
intimacy, like you were saying, it doesn't have to be always, in a sexual sense, but it has to be in a this is especially and only for you.
yeah, definitely,
it has
definitely.
it has to look like this particular thing
It's reserved strictly
is
for you.
reserved.
Yeah.
For no one else can tap into that,
Mm-hmm.
because you have to draw the line. Your spouse needs to know where that line is, where they can cross
Mm-hmm.
and be there by themselves.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and
What can
that's
I do? How can I get your attention where it's just mine,
Yeah, and no one else
and it's
can
no one
invade that space,
else's.
or yeah, no one else has
Right.
access to you like that in
That
that
is
manner or whatever
very
else.
important,
Yeah, definitely.
because you see it all the time. You see, people raise families,
Hmm.
and then when the children are grown and they're gone, the people have nothing left in common.
Yeah,
Like
that's definitely
they're just
that's definitely true.
they're just there.
And that's again, that's something else to be mindful of, and you know what I'm saying, something else to definitely keep into consideration. And man, I'm sure this conversation we could carry it on
Part two,
all
part
night,
three,
you
and
know what I'm
part
saying?
four.
Yeah, definitely. But for the sake of time, and you know what I'm saying, whatever else it is that others may have going on, respecting their time, we definitely will come back and have another conversation about the pitfalls and the landmines that we've discovered throughout the history of us being together, um, and bringing up further, content and context and how that stuff looked for us, man. Because it was crazy when we started having that conversation. It led me to, you know what I'm saying, a praise session, because I was able to um, look at how far it is that God has brought us through this whole process, man. Like,
Mm-hmm.
again, you know what I'm saying? Had it not been for God, and had it not been for Him breathing something new into the union that we had, and allowing us to see things from a different space and a different narrative, man. You know what I'm saying? It's quite possible that we wouldn't be sitting here being able to have this conversation, and talk about these things that happened in the past in such a calm way, and now find, you know what I'm saying, a sense of humor in them, while sharing with others to let them know that their
Mm-hmm.
situations are not unique, and you know what I'm saying, we all deal with certain things and whatnot. So um, yeah, with that being said, man, I ain't got nothing else to say.
You cannot say I don't have anything. That's
Now,
not how you can end it.
I told you we were gonna keep it real with these people, man. You know when
Stop
we
saying these people.
well we gonna
That
keep it
sounds
real.
horrible.
Well, we gonna keep it real with whoever it is that's watching
Just don't say
our.
these people. That just sounds so.
All right.
It just sounds horrible.
Well, I'm gonna come up with something better to say. But you know how I do, man. When we hit that point and they,
You're like, yeah, but he would literally be talking like I got nothing else.
yeah, that be it.
That's all I
So,
got.
man, listen, we appreciate the feedback. We appreciate the support. We appreciate everything that everyone is poured into us, and
The
um,
comments,
the comments,
oh,
and just
we got
everything
so many
else,
text messages, and
man.
we really really appreciate all of it
Yeah, cause again, this is not anything that we're doing
for fame or
for
celebrity.
none of that. This is all obedience to God. Cause again, we're both passionate about the family dynamic and marriage, and making sure that looks healthy, and just being able to share with others the things that we've gone through, and the things that we've discovered, and what that looks like. So yeah. So I ain't got nothing else
No,
to say for real.
so while you were talking, I was sitting here
Yeah.
thinking, the other day I said I cook because I don't want anybody to die,
Yeah.
and I was just thinking, I'm doing this because I don't want to go to hell.
Man, wow. See, well, I appreciate your obedience,
I,
man, for real.
I,
Like,
I
yeah,
don't.
yeah. I appreciate.
I
So
really don't.
so we here with it, man. That's what it is. Again, thank you for you know what I'm saying, viewing with us, and walking along this journey with us. With the do all the stuff. What the stuff is, I don't. Yo, I'm gonna
Like,
learn the stuff
share, subscribe,
and comment. We gonna
comment.
yeah, we gonna
All
learn.
of it. Do all of that.
Yeah, do all the stuff, man, and again,
Like, share,
continue to,
subscribe,
to
comment.
to please provide us with feedback, and you know what I'm saying. And again, this is something that is inspired by God, and we're gonna let Him stir the vehicle, and allow Him to lead, instruct, and you know what I'm saying. Allow this to be His platform and His framework with everything that we're doing.
Absolutely.
So, with that being said, I'm gonna say it one more time. I ain't got
Like,
nothing else to say.
comment, share, subscribe.
All right.
Thank you for spending time with us, and we'll
Yes.
see you next
All
time.
right, see y'all next time, man. Y'all have a beautiful night. And again, just want to encourage someone, prayerfully, that you maintain your faith, and that you continue to go through strong, and that you continue to look to where your help comes from, and always know and understand that you're not in this thing by yourself. and God is always present, and He's looking, and he wants you to be the best version of yourself. So continue to strive towards that. Continue to get up every day and put your best foot forward, and prayerfully you'll arrive to the place that you've envisioned yourself being. So good night. We love you all, and you know what I'm saying. You all have a blessed evening. I ain't doing none of that. Peace.